Doctor Who's new spin on gender politics.
Was someone kissing me?
So, if you can't find a scientist you can trust on Earth, who are you going to call? In 1963, the BBC looked to the planet Gallifrey and found an alien scientist who might be able to save the image of scientists.
Have you ever thought what it's like to be wanderers in the fourth dimension? Have you?
I remember the first ever Doctor Who. The moment I saw that police box land in that junkyard and William Hartnell get out and bumble away, I was absolutely, completely hooked.
I know this is absurd, but...
The series was created with the full intention of bringing science to family drama, fulfilling the old BBC code: entertain, inform, educate, exterminate.
The idea was you'd have science-based programs which illustrated physics or whatever, but then what the kids liked, what the audience, and I speak as one of the kids who actually watched this show when it first went out, what we like with the monsters, or the weird stuff, or the things like that bigger on the inside than the outside, the sort of concepts there.
I hated at school the idea of science. Science was boring, but this thing on the telly, which was all about light bending and time only being pretend, that was wonderful. I wanted to be right at the heart of that.
This series brought quantum mechanics to a family audience. Science was key. The Doctor's good science versus evil alien bad science, like the Daleks, bent on universal domination through science.
You poor pathetic creatures, don't you realize, before you attempt to conquer the Earth, you will have to destroy all living matter.
Take them! Take them! We are the masters of Earth.
William Hartnell plays Doctor Who as the eccentric scientist. The idea of the eccentric scientist has been around since the 19th century, but perhaps it was a boffin closer to the BBC studio that inspired the writers.
Well, of course, space travel itself lies in the very future yet, but I think the first explorers may have some surprises.
The series marked another unique difference between US and British science fiction.
Oh yeah, I think in Britain we're not afraid to make a scientist the hero. I think in America the really clever guy will be the number two or the assistant, someone like Mr. Spock, who helps out, but he's not the hero. He's not Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk's off getting the girl and doing all the fighting and being the leader. Whereas here we've got characters like the Doctor or Professor Quatermass, who are always the cleverest man in the room, who always sort it out, but they do it by using their brain rather than their fist.
They dare to tamper with the forces of creation?
Yes, they dare. And we have got to dare to stop them.
Science has given the nation the longest-running sci-fi series ever. Loved by everyone. Well, almost everyone.
OK, so this is going to get me into trouble with the BBC again, because I'm probably the only person who doesn't get Doctor Who. I'm really sorry. I just don't get it. I've never watched an episode. Is that really bad?
Yes, it is. Your P45's in the post. While the Doctor Who creatives were busy scaring up to 15 million viewers a week, 10 million hiding behind the sofa, real science programs were still in need of a facelift.
16 combinations, but there are 20.
The biggest casualty was Doctor Who, axed in '89.
You stupid, stubborn, thick-headed numbskull!
Its effects just couldn't keep up with Hollywood, and British sci-fi drama ran out of steam, for the time being.
Come along, my dear. It's time we were off.
The upcoming 90s would be a fallow time for serious sci-fi. Worries about science. For the sci-fi writers, that seemed too good to miss out on. The noughties saw a rejuvenation of sci-fi, again helped by CGI. Taking the lead was the resurrection of Doctor Who in 2005.
I think people who would have perhaps dismissed it before as just this kids' show with the so-called wonky set, now they're sort of taking it as serious science fiction that can compete with the big-budget stuff that comes out of America.
Don't blink. Blink and you're dead.
This has changed the landscape of TV again, just as it did in 1963.
Hello. I'm the Doctor.
It could be down to the scripts, the actors, the effects are better than they were. But it could also be down to the new fears of attack in the War on Terror. Just like the old fears of attack in the Cold War.
I think that science fiction is back on television because we like it. We've always liked it. It was taken away from us. It wasn't something we rejected. Now it's back. I think that if you look at the shape of it, you look at the stories that are being done on Doctor Who or the various other shows, they all reflect our contemporary concerns. You look at them and there they are, throbbing through the form. But that's what science fiction always does.